We should never allow the government to decide what is acceptable speech and what is unacceptable speech. We should penalize behaviors, not opinions, and not speech. If you start trying to regulate speech, you start trying to regulate thoughts, you start trying to regulate beliefs rather than behaviors, there's no way that you're not going to abridge the constitutional rights of millions of Americans.
Well, I was on a radio show on UFOs and alien abductions, and we went to phone calls, and the calls started coming in where a number of people who identified themselves as members of the Nation of Islam said that there was no debate. There are UFOs, there is a mothership in orbit around Earth, and in 1999, the mothership is going to release the smaller ships, and they are going to attack and invade American cities. How do they know this is true? The Reverend Minister Farrakhan has been to the mothership. Well, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I personally find Farrakhan to be an intelligent, rational man. Does he really believe this? Turns out he really does.
Minister Farrakhan's Mother Wheel is a heavily armed spaceship the size of a city, which will bring destruction upon white America, but save those who embrace the Nation of Islam. The idea is not unique.
A 90-year-old Pentecostal woman from the Lutheran Church in Valdres, Norway received a vision in the 1960s. Emmanuel Minos, a Norwegian Pentecostal evangelist, held revival meetings in Valles where the woman lived in 1968. She came to one of his meetings and told him what she had seen, and Reverend Minos wrote it down. The woman from Valdres was known for being alert, reliable and a credible Christian with a good reputation. After the revival meetings closed, Minos returned to his home and shared the vision he had written down with his wife. Both felt that the vision was so far-fetched and difficult to believe did not want to publish it. However, in 1993, 25 years later, Minos was going through old files when he found some papers that had become yellow with age. To his astonishment, he found the forgotten notes he had written in 1968 when the 90-year-old woman shared the vision with him. After reading through the notes, he became terrified since he realized that many of the details had indeed been fulfilled. He remembered that the woman had asked him to warn people because the end times were approaching. Minos also remembered that he had argued with the woman about certain points in the vision, and she forcefully had told him the vision was true and that Minos would live to see it fulfilled in his lifetime. After having reviewed his notes and thinking about what the woman had said, he made the decision to publish the vision. The notes have since been transcribed to YouTube beginning in 2009 by Norwegian pastors.
I saw the time just before the coming of Jesus and the outbreak of the Third World War. I saw the events with my natural eyes. I saw the world like a kind of a globe and saw Europe, land by land. I saw Scandinavia. I saw Norway. I saw certain things that would take place just before the return of Jesus, and just before the last calamity happens, a calamity the likes of which we have never before experienced.
Part 1.
First, before Jesus comes and before the Third World War breaks out, there will be a day unlike we have never had before. There will be peace between the superpowers in the East and the West, and there will be a long peace.
Remember, this was in 1968 when the Cold War was at its height.
In this period of peace there will be disarmament in many countries, also in Norway, and we are not prepared when the war comes. The Third World War will begin in a way no one would have anticipated, and from an unexpected place.
Part 2.
A lukewarmness without parallel will take hold of the Christians, a falling away from true, living Christianity. Christians will not be open for penetrating preaching. They will not, like in earlier times, want to hear of sin and grace, law and gospel, repentance and restoration. There will come a substitute instead: prosperity, happiness, Christianity. The important thing will be to have success, to be something, to have material things, things that God never promised us in this way. Churches and prayer houses will be emptier and emptier. Instead of the preaching we have been used to for generations, like to take your cross up and follow Jesus, entertainment, art and culture will invade the churches where there should have been gatherings for repentance and revival. This will increase markedly just before the return of Jesus.
This is a CBS News special report.